Hello, lovies. It is me, Shay, and I will be your host for this Whip and Chat. Whip in Chat, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and my current whip is a diamond painting. So go ahead and pull something out if you want to craft alongside me. Pull your diamond painting out, or let's just hang out. Again, this is your time with me. Let me just, do what I can to make you have a better day. That's my goal. I just realized there's a diamond here that should not be here. Yes. So how are you guys? So yes, my name is Shay, and we're going to go for about an hour today, give or take, depending on how it goes. I do these whip and chats weekly. I always film them normally on Wednesdays. And then, so today is Wednesday, January 24th at 6 o'clock at night or in the afternoon. So 6:04. I try to do this a little bit earlier this week because sometimes I wait a little too late and then I'm up kind of late processing the video and trying to get it up for y'all Thursday morning. So yes, it's Wednesday for me / Thursday for you if you're watching this the day that it comes out. And let's just see how everybody's doing. So let me know in the comments, how are you? What is going on, y'all? I want to know. And if you're not doing okay, that's all right. Maybe I can make you feel a little better for a while and just leave all your troubles here with me. And I'll take them. I will happily take them from you. And I really think about you guys all the time, and I'm wishing, the best for everybody. Truthfully and honestly, that's what I want for y'all. So I know some people have been sick and the weather's been kind of yucky and gloomy. So let's have some fun, okay? Let's kind of escape for a little bit. Like I said, this is a whip and chat. I'm going to diamond paint and just blab and talk, and just tell you guys, sorry, I'm just diamond painting. This is the first time I've sat down today and diamond painted. I'm like, yes, let's get to it, people. Plus you can't just have a diamond painting sitting in front of you, just looking at it. So everything I'm working on will be down in the description. Yep. I won't go through all the things I normally do, but I was like, it's the same things I've been using the last couple weeks. So yes, y'all go check them out. But the diamond painting I am working on is this one, Distracted by Diamonds, and it's called The Message. It's Gretel Lusky, and I love it. And I'll probably pop up a picture somewhere in one of these corners, maybe right over here. Editing Shay will do that, so y'all can kind of get an idea of where I'm at and what I'm working on. So let's see, last whip and chat last week, I think I was like over here. I was about to finish the bottom row. So now I did this one. I'm up on the second row now from the bottom. And now I'm on this one. I haven't got very far. I haven't done a lot of diamond painting. Not because I don't want to. I just haven't. Sometimes can y'all hear that? Listen. Oh, now he gets quiet. I know you're probably like, why is she being quiet? So if y'all have been with me for a while, hello, welcome back. Welcome back. Thanks for coming back and for your continued support. And then if y'all are new, welcome. I'm glad you joined me today. Hopefully you'll stay and keep coming back. So I have a French bulldog, and that's Ollie, and he gets into some shenanigans. As y'all have seen him other whip and chats. He was chewing on a bone right before I started this whip and chat, and I was like, oh, he's going to shake the camera. He's going to shake the table. But y'all, he just fell right to sleep right as I started talking. So if you hear snoring, I don't know how much I'm just using my phone to film, so I don't know how much the speaker on the phone is picking up, but hopefully it's not distracting. So where did we leave off? Let's kind of catch up and talk about where we left off. I did take a few notes. I tried to kind of jot down random thoughts this week, kind of some things that have happened. So in my last video last week, I had a question for y'all, and boy, did y'all answer my question. I didn't like most of your answers because it basically you told me I was wrong. But what I wanted to know from y'all, and I'm glad you told me because now I know, and I will forever say it differently, but I was asking y'all about throat lozenges. Y'all cracked me up. A lot of people are like, we call them cough drops. I'm like, yes, why didn't I just say cough drops? But apparently there's not an R in lozenges, which I'm going to blame my mom and dad. I think I say throat lozengers because that's the way my mom and dad, but I haven't talked to my mom, so I need to ask her how she pronounces it, because I'm going to blame it on them. Just like there's some things I do that I grew up doing, like a lot of us do. Another thing that I got from my mom and my dad is scrambled eggs. I hope this isn't gross for y'all, but I was raised putting ketchup on my scrambled eggs. Yes, some people think it's disgusting, but that's how I eat my scrambled eggs, because that's how my mom did it, right? So I'm going to blame the whole lozenges thing on my mom. Yes. But yeah, y'all were awesome. Thank you for that. Now I know. I actually say other words wrong, I think. I say quite a few words wrong. My husband always corrects me. But so my daughter, Lou, who's 11, can't say I'm going to say it wrong because of the way she says it for so many years now. It's like gotten in my brain. Thermometer. She can't say thermometer. She says thermometer. I'm like, it's not a thermometer, it's a thermometer. And so same thing comes with lozengers. It's just, there's not that letter in there. So where's that coming from? I don't know. So, and then Nate, my 17-year-old says, so he loves Kanye West, the rapper. And don't hold that against him, but he does. And ever since, so one time we were cooking something and we needed cayenne pepper. And so, but now I want to say Kanye pepper. I'm just a mess, y'all. It's just, I'm going to blame it on my kids too. Yep. It's their fault. So yes, that was from the last video. I wrote that down. I'm like, okay. Y'all corrected me, but I got a kick out of all your responses. So thank y'all for always commenting, and always comment on these videos. Always hit that like button, comment. I love reading and I try to get back to everybody. I'm a little behind right now on getting back to comments, but I read every single one of them and I always heart them. I try to type something back if I can, but now that I'm working full time and all that, I just don't have the same amount of time I feel like I used to kind of just, get back to that stuff. But I definitely read them all and I love your comments. So, all right. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about last weekend. I was looking at it. So, last weekend, and before I forget, I just want to ask, I did a live, I do go live on Sundays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you ever want to join me, but I did a live, not this past Sunday, but the one before that with Angie, and I had a guest and we did some giveaways. Linda, who's a friend of mine in the community, she donated a couple of paintings, and the winner never contacted me. And so I was talking to Linda and I'm like, I never heard back from her. So Claudia, that's all I got. Claudia, if you're out there, Linda is ready to send your painting to you. And it was a Harry Potter painting. So only Claudia respond. No one try to act like Claudia. Okay. But I was like, you know what? Before we try to do a redraw, I just wanted to give Claudia an opportunity, if she's out there somewhere and listening, to get with me. Send me a comment on here, or send me a message, shaydoescrafts@gmail.com, Instagram, all the things. Yeah, and we'll get it mailed out to you. But I just felt bad because Claudia never responded, and I don't know who that is. So, yep, I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that, because my nice friends here in the community were trying to, send out paintings to folks that won. And then Berta is amazing. Berta always, she's been donating a lot of paintings lately, and she's always so generous. So, yes. So we're getting all the folks that have been donating paintings. I'm trying to get them all squared away so they can contact their winners and get everything shipped out. So, okay, this past weekend, my best friend, Randy, who is also known on YouTube as You Can Call Me Butter, came over. It was Saturday morning, and hubby had gone off to California to go to the San Francisco 49ers game. And he's a big 49ers fan. If y'all are new to the channel, him and my oldest son, Ryan, who's 18, are huge 49ers fans. And they won. If y'all been following football, if you know anything about football, yes, they won. So they're going to be playing again. So he's actually still in California working from there. And he's going to be going to the next game this weekend. So he was gone, right? And I was like, and then Lou wanted to do a sleepover at a friend's house. So it kind of just dawned on me, it's like, I have not seen Randy in like 4 months. And I said, I think this would be the perfect opportunity. Hubby's gone, daughter's gone. I won't feel guilty, right, for leaving my family and hanging out with friends, which I need to do a better job of kind of managing all of that because I always feel so guilty, but I also need friend time too, right? So I'm going to make that more of a priority. But so Saturday morning, I was actually talking to Alyssa, the diamond painting accountant, and we were talking about some stuff, about retreat stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to let you go and I'm going to reach out to Randy. I know it's like super last minute. She probably won't be able to, but maybe she can come over on Saturday for dinner. Maybe we can diamond paint, hang out. So I sent her a message about noon and she's like, sure. And she was like, I was like, what? I couldn't believe it, y'all. She said yes. So let's see. She was coming over at 5 and I was so happy. And so she brought her diamond painting. But before she got here, let me tell you all that story. Before she got here, I was putting myself together, doing my hair, doing my makeup. And it was about 15 minutes before 5. And I was doing my eyebrows, putting the pencil on the eyebrows because I'm almost 50 and they're like non-existent now. I have like no eyebrows. It's so sad. But yeah, they're gone. And when I was younger, they used to call my eyebrows caterpillars because they were so thick. I'm like, what happened? It's probably all those years of tweezing, right? So I was doing my eyebrows and I noticed there was like a little stray hair that needed to be plucked. Speaking of plucking, I know I have these thin eyebrows, but you get these wild hairs that don't belong there. I was like, I need my tweezers. So I was digging around in my makeup drawer and I couldn't find them. So I was like, oh, I think I have a pair in my toiletry bag under the sink. So I was digging into the sink and I see my toiletry bag and it's dark. I should have put it up on the counter and actually, looked at it. But no, I was just underneath the sink, digging my hand in my bag, feeling for the tweezers. And all of a sudden something hurt. And I'm like, ow. And I was like, oh, did I poke myself with the tweezers? I don't have a Band-Aid on them right now, but if y'all are squeamish, don't look. It's not gross. It's just like, it's a little cut. But I basically filleted my finger with a razor. Yes, I had a razor in my toiletry bag without the cover on it. For shaving the legs. Yeah, so I got a boo-boo. Isn't that gross, y'all? It's a lot better. It's looking better. I've been keeping a Band-Aid on the last couple of days, but I needed for it to start healing. But I just went, slice, but it would not stop bleeding. So I stuck a Band-Aid on it real quick. Actually, Ryan helped me. I'm pretty squeamish, and so I normally have my husband do that stuff. We call him Dr. Dad because he's the one that, when the kids have always gotten hurt and all the things, they go to Dr. Dad. And Dad, gets you all fixed up. But Dr. Dad wasn't here, so I was telling Ryan, because I was holding a paper towel over my finger so the bleeding would stop. And Randy was about to be here, and I'm like, can you help me get a Band-Aid? So he slapped a Band-Aid on it, and then her and I were in the kitchen talking. And it was like about 30 minutes she'd been here. And I looked down, I'm like, oh man, it was bleeding through the Band-Aid. So, but yeah. So she's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm good. I just sliced my finger. So I learned something. Do not keep a razor in your bag, your toiletry bag, without a cover on it. Yep, not good. So that happened. So yeah, got a little slicey. So yeah, so Randy came over. We visited for a little bit in the kitchen. And like I said, this was about 5. And then we decided to come up to the craft room and have some little privacy and diamond paint and catch up. And then, let's see, it was about 7 or so. Getting a little hungry. So we went out to one of our favorite sushi places near my house and they were closed. And I think they're like closed. And we were like, no. So that was a bummer. So then I remember there's another sushi place that we've gotten takeout before from across the street in the other shopping center. I'm like, let's go there. And she'd never been there before. And I was telling her all about it and how it was really good. So we go in there and it's a small place. So basically Randy was sitting, we were in a booth and she was facing the sushi bar with all the guys making the sushi and the waitress and waitresses were like right there. That was all happening behind me, right? Because I was facing her. So I couldn't see anybody behind me. I don't know what was going on. So a couple of times throughout the meal, I guess I had asked her what she thought and if she liked it. She was like, yeah, it's really good. Well, we get in the car. She starts laughing. I'm like, what? She goes, I didn't really like it. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, but I couldn't say anything because they were right behind you. They were all like staring at us. And I'm like, oh, she goes, that's why I kept telling you it was good. No, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. So she didn't really like it. She said it was okay. So she had some to go. We both did. We had little to go boxes. We both got like a couple of rolls each. And then we came back to the house, kept diamond painting, kept visiting, and just having a grand old time. It was so fun. We laughed, we cried, all the things. And she was telling me that she was thinking about going live. Now, Randy used to go live on Sundays at 2, and I'd go live at 4. We did this for a long time. But, life happens, and, she just didn't go live anymore. So, but yeah, she's like, I'm thinking about going live. And it's been, I think about a year, someone said. I think Burn, Sapphires and Ocean Waves said it's been about a year since she went live. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know it'd been that long. And I was thinking, yeah, you're saying that now, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That girl went live. Yes, she did. And it was so good. I know everybody was so happy to see her. I kept telling her when she was here that night, I was like, girl, I get asked all the time about you. And she's like, you do? I'm like, yes, people care. And they have not forgotten about you. Because she just took a little break. And yeah. So that night, when she was telling me this, I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't believe you. But okay. Yes, I was definitely telling her she should. I'm like, everybody would absolutely love to see you. But my phone rang a couple of times when we were hanging out. It was about 10 or 11, I guess. And Lou was spending the night at a girlfriend's house, and she was calling me, telling me her stomach was hurting, and she had like acid reflux. And so I'm walking her through it. It's about 11 o'clock at this point, I guess. And she called a few times, and I was trying to tell her, can you ask for some medicine? Do they have any Tums? Try sitting up and not laying down flat, all the things I could think of. And she's like, no, my friend's sleeping, and I don't want to wake her up. And I was like, well, what do you want me to do? So I'd let her go, and then she'd call back. So finally about, I guess it was almost midnight, Randy was getting ready to go, and then she called back again. Lou's like, can you come pick me up? I was like, sure. So said goodbye to Randy. We just had so much fun, you guys. It was great. It was really good for the soul. Really, really good. We had a great time. And then I picked up Lou, and Lou climbed in bed with me and was able to go right to sleep. I think she kind of was homesick a little bit and maybe missed me. I don't know. So I had the best of both worlds. I got to see my best friend, got to have my daughter back to go to sleep with, because, when Dad's out of town, she gets to sleep with me. So yeah, it was nice. We had all around, it was a great day. Didn't get any chores done, no laundry, no dishes. And then Sunday, slept in till about almost 11 because, stayed up kind of late, maybe had a little bit of wine. So I was like, yeah. So I slept in. And then by the time I got up and took a shower and everything, we went to Starbucks. We like to take Ollie to Starbucks on the weekends. We get him a pup cup, and that's become this new tradition that we do on the weekends. And he's now really into it and knows where we're going and what's happening, and it's so cute. So we took him to Starbucks, and then, I better not say it too loud. I think he's learning the word. So then come back and then took a shower, and by that time it was almost 2, and I saw Randy's alert, a notification came up saying she was going to be going live. I'm like, she's going to do it. She's actually doing it. And I wanted to be on there. So while I was on there, I was up in the craft room. I was trying to do my thumbnail for my live, and do all that stuff, and then try to put my makeup on. I was crying watching her, because so good seeing her back in the community and just seeing everybody love on her. So sweet. So I can't thank y'all enough for all the love and support you showed her, because I kept telling her, and y'all proved it. You proved me right. Yes, you did. So if you haven't seen it, go watch the replay. Again, her channel is You Can Call Me Butter. She's amazing. So, yep. And then she went live at 2. And then she went live till about 3:30, I guess, or so. And then it was my turn. And then for that, I don't know. It's time to make dinner. And I just got nothing done. Nothing. So, but that's okay. It got done this week. After work, I've been kind of chugging away at the little dishes. And actually, Nate's been helping out because he does the chores on the weekends. But, yep. I did a little bit of diamond painting. So that was good. And then, So then it was back to work on Monday. Yeah, back to work, y'all. So let's see. We are going to... So spring break is in March for us, for the kids, and we are going to Disney World. And I realized on Monday or Tuesday, I realized that I had not called to get the dogs boarded anywhere yet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope not, I hope not everything's going to be filled up already. I may have like really messed up. I always do this. We get our whole trip planned, but yet we kind of forget about the dogs. I'm like, oh yeah, we got 3 dogs. And Ollie's actually never been boarded before. So we're like, oh no, our baby, but he'll be fine. So on Monday at my lunch at work, I called our vet. I always start there. And they're like, nope, we're booked up. I'm like, okay. So then I called my second place and got on a waiting list. I was like, oh, that's not ideal, but I guess it's better than nothing. Then I called our third place and they had a spot. But this place is kind of strict. Ryan actually used to work there at a different location, but it's called Camp Bow Wow. And it's like they have cameras, you can watch your dogs, like the real, like kind of cool place. But they're kind of serious. So your dog has to be interviewed in order to be accepted for boarding there. And when I've only taken the other 2, Margot and Jasper, I took them there one time before, and it was great. And I remember I had to take them for an interview, and they passed, and they got to be boarded. Well, when I called, they're like, yeah, it's been over a year since you had Margot and Jasper here. And then, of course, now you have a new dog. You have Ollie. We're going to need to see all 3 of them for an interview. I was like, oh, gosh. I'm like, come on, guys, you can do it. You can do the interview. So this Saturday at 1 o'clock, I'm taking all 3 dogs, which is never a good thing. I did that once recently, and Ryan helped me. I decided to take all 3 dogs to the vet to get vaccinations, and it was mayhem. Absolute mayhem. And that was with Ryan helping me. And I thought, what am I doing? I got to take all 3 of these dogs even further to a further place than the vet. This boarding place is about 30 minutes away. I was like, oh, but we got to do it, right? So I'm going to need some help on Saturday. I asked Lou and she's like, I might be busy. I might be at a friend's house. I'm like, oh, excuse me, lady. So I'm going to ask and see if maybe Nate can, but my husband's going to be out of town still. I'm like, I need somebody. But they would not book any boarding for me until we do the interview because they don't want to they can't reserve that spot until you pass the interview. And then, so Ryan, I was like, what does the interview do? Because I don't remember, because they don't let you back there. They make you stay in the front. And I think I was able to watch on camera, some of what they were doing. You can't hear anything, you just kind of see. And Ryan was saying that he never did the interviews, but he, normally a manager does it. But I think they take him in to a room with other dogs their size and see how they socialize with other dogs and see if there's any issues. So I think they'll be fine. And yeah, so I've been working on that. Yes, I've been working on that, y'all. But just kind of getting excited about that. I did put time off in, and it hasn't been approved yet, but I still got some time. I put my time off request in. And because let's see, March 4th will be 90 days that I've been there. And after 90 days is when you're eligible for benefits, health insurance and stuff, and your pay time off and vacation time and all that stuff starts to kick in too. So that'll be cool because it'll be after that. So maybe, I don't know how many days, how many hours I'll have at that point. Probably one day of that, maybe I'll get paid for, but yeah. So work today was interesting. Let's talk about that for a sec. So with this job, they want you, and for those of you that might be new, if I have to have some new folks, I started my job December 4th, kind of new at it. I'm a marketing specialist for a podiatrist, so a foot doctor. And I go around, driving around a foot car most days, stopping into urgent cares, primary cares, senior centers, wherever we think we could get a referral for, someone that needs a foot doctor. And I try to drum up business, try to get referrals for the doctors. So I normally hit up about 20 doctor's offices a day. That's kind of the average, depending, give or take. And then we try to get, names, cards, hello, how are you? Here's some information, la-di-da. So what they want us to also do in this job is to do lunches. Bring lunch to said doctor's office that you think you might get some business from, potential business, and bring them lunch. And then also have one of our doctors, because it's more than just one. We have 8 locations. So there's 5 or 6 different doctors. And so depending on what location you're going to be at, you get the doctor from that closest office to come with you. And that way you get face-to-face time with the provider, with the doctors. Our doctor talks to their doctor and da-da-da-da. And I just do the lunch, right? I just get the food ordered, bring it, get everything set up, schedule everything, right? Set it up. Well, today was my first lunch my very first lunch, because they want us to do at least one a month, if not more. So I've got 2 scheduled for January, 2 for February, and 2 for March. So I'm meeting my quota. But today was my first one for January. And most doctor's offices close for lunch from 12 to 1. So this was a pediatrician's office. And they did ask for, I asked, about dietary restrictions whenever I set up the lunch. And it's halal. Hope I said that right. Halal and vegetarian. I was like, okay, I can figure this out. So I set it all up, made sure I had vegetarian and halal food, and got that all done. And then they were going to have the doctor scheduled to come to meet me there. And so we were all set. Well, I get a call or a message from our office saying the catering order was on its way. It was like 45 minutes before their lunch started. I did not say, I said I want it delivered. So their lunch is at 12. And I said I wanted the food delivered at 11:45, right? Because I thought that'd be perfect, right? Not too soon, just right. Get it set up and you can eat. They showed up at like 11:15 or so. And I was like, oh no, I wasn't even there. I wanted to meet. I was going to be in the lobby of the doctor's office and I was going to get the food, set it up for them so they wouldn't have to do all that. I'm still across town hitting up doctor's offices in the first part of the day. And I'm like, I'll do my lunch and, go back to what I was doing. And so the food got there before me. I was like, oh no. So then they were telling me that our doctor, one of our foot doctors, is actually going to be in surgery. He might be a little late. I was like, okay, I can do this. I can talk to a doctor, right? I've been doing this job for about a month and a half now. I kind of feel like I know a little bit, but not too much, but I'll see what I can do, right? I'll just smile and fake it till you make it, right? So that's what I did. I got there and they were so, so nice. The pediatrician was amazing. But what had happened before that, let me tell you the story. So this morning, before all this, I got to our office, and to get the company car, and they were like, we got some bad news, but the pediatrician who you're supposed to have lunch with today actually called and tried to cancel because she's got something that came up and she wanted to see if we could reschedule. She goes, but we actually called the restaurant that you ordered the food from and there's no refund. So we have to bring the food. And I guess they had told her on the phone that it's okay if the doctor's not there. We can't cancel the food. We'll at least bring it up for them and, they can enjoy it. And they asked if I was going to be there still. I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely be there. I'll meet maybe the nurses, the medical assistants, front desk, whatever. But yeah, I said I'll be there. So that's kind of how the day started off, right? So I was like, oh, my lunch isn't going as planned. I was kind of bummed. I wanted to do a good job. So I get there and of course the food was already there, but they were really nice. I said, I'm so sorry the food got here. She's like, no, it's okay. I set it all up. So she took me back to their break room and it was all set up. A lot of food. Probably, I learned in my lesson, there was probably more food than what we needed. So I think next time when I do a lunch, I'll definitely order less, right? You just don't want to not have enough, right? And that was another thing. I didn't do dessert. And I'm like, do I do dessert? So I'm learning. I think next time I may do some dessert. But I did drinks and I did the food. And so I got there and they're kind of like, yeah, you're welcome to wait here. And I'm like, yeah, hopefully my doctor will be here soon. And they're like, yeah, our doctor, might show up for a little bit, but she's pretty busy. I'm like, no worries. We got the message this morning and I get it. It's okay if she can't make it. I know y'all are busy. So next thing you know, I sit down for a second in the chair they gave me and I'm messaging the doctor, just letting him know that I was there and kind of what was going on. I'm like, the food's here. I'm here. I'm just waiting on the doctor. Maybe she'll show up. Well, the door opens up and it's the doctor, the pediatrician. I'm like, oh, hello. She's like, hello. She was so nice. And she's like, I'm sorry that I called this morning, but actually things got rearranged. I'm able to have lunch now. I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm like, my doctor should be here any minute. He's in foot surgery right now, but he might be a little late. She's like, okay, let's make a plate. I was like, great. So she invited all her staff to come in. There was about 6 people. So it was a small pediatrician's office. It's just her. She's just the one provider. So one doctor there. And so then she said, have a seat. So we sat down at her desk, like her office, and she sits in her chair and I sit across from her. And I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to sit here and talk to this doctor? I did. I sat there for an hour and talked to this doctor. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was, we talked about like doctor, like, podiatry stuff, like how can we help them, and what do we see, and what does she see, and how can, because we do see a lot of kids for ingrown toenails, and she said they see a lot of kids with warts and all that kind of stuff, and even kids with flat feet. I'm like, oh, okay, we can help with that. So it was really cool. I was just telling her about us, and so things were going good, and here it is, like 30 minutes later, and my doctor's still not there, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I didn't want to take up too much of their time, but her and I were just eating our food, just the two of us, sitting at her desk. And I thought it was gonna be more of a break room with like maybe nurses and staff and like a general like come and go. No, it was just, she dedicated her time to me, which I thought was so nice. And you could tell she really wanted to make sure that, and she kept, thanking me for the food. And it was really nice. All right, sorry, quick little pause. Lou came in here and wanted me to show me something. One of the little boys from school knows that her dad and her brother like the 49ers, like I had mentioned to y'all. And this little boy in her class loves football, but he doesn't really like the 49ers, and he's got all these football cards. And he gave her a Brock Purdy, the quarterback of the 49ers, a Brock Purdy football card. And she's like, Mom, I looked it up and it's like worth $200. I'm like, what? So she thought that was pretty cool. So she was going to show Ryan. So her and I, here we are 45 minutes into the lunch, and we are chatting it up. Come to find out, she's got 3 boys, and her oldest 2 are the same ages as my oldest 2. So 17 and 18. She's got an 8-year-old little boy, and I've got Lou's 11. So we had a lot in common, and we ended up talking about our families, and just, I really felt like there was a connection. I even told her, I said, I really like you. I said, you're a great pediatrician too. I said, I almost want to come see you from now on, as a pediatrician. She goes, oh, it's okay. Because she asked who ours was, and she's familiar with her. It's not too far from where we are. And so, yeah, we just really good. So here we are an hour in, and there was a lot of leftover food. And I said, you know what? I said, I don't know where the doctor is. He must have gotten stuck in surgery. I said, maybe he can stop by and just say hello, or maybe stop by and grab it. She goes, yeah, tell him to come by and get some food, because we have a ton of leftover food. And she goes, why don't you take some? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I said, I'm going to be driving around more this afternoon. I'm like, this was our treat. I'm like, you take it home to your boys. So we were just chilling, y'all. At first I was really intimidated by her because it's a doctor, right? They're smart. I don't want to look dumb. I was like, what am I going to talk about? I can only talk about so much stuff about podiatry. I don't know. That's why our doctor needed to be here. So after an hour, I said my goodbyes, left them some first aid kits and some shoehorns and more pens. They love our pens, the doctor's offices do, and my card. And I just said my goodbyes, and they were so, so nice. And so then I get in the car and I'm messaging the doctor again. And I'm like, hey, I just left, but please stop by and get some lunch and grab some food. And maybe if you can, say hello. So he messaged me back about 10 minutes later, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I just got out of surgery and I'll head over there. He goes, are they a nice group? With like all these question marks. And I was like, yes, extremely nice. So it was really good. And then I updated the marketing team, our group marketing, with like a marketing messaging string. And I was like, hey, did the lunch, went great. Spent about an hour talking to the doctor. And I said, our doctor never showed, but I think he's on his way now. And one of the girls got back to me. She's like, you know what? The doctor won't always be available for these marketing lunches. And I said, I know. I was thinking to myself, yeah, that's, I get that. They're busy. And she said, what's more important is that marketing is there and we are the face of, the doctor's office, and that we establish that relationship there and they think of us, right? So, and what was also kind of awkward about the lunch is as I'm pulling into the parking lot, I didn't notice that. Well, I did notice it, but I kind of forgotten about it. But there is in the same parking lot as this pediatrician's office, there's a foot and ankle doctor. There's another podiatrist across the way. And I was like, ooh. So I just brought it up. I said, so I know you have another, foot and ankle doctor right over there. I'm like, so she's like, no. We've actually referred to you before. I'm like, you have? She's like, yes. So that was really nice to hear that. And she's like, we'll definitely send things your way. So yeah, it was a good day. Kind of needed the doctor. I kind of felt, maybe I would have felt a little more comfortable, but I think it was good just for me to get over that, that nervousness and just build that confidence maybe for my first lunch going, yeah, I can sit here and have a conversation. It doesn't necessarily have to be about work and business. It can be about our kids and about traveling. And she's from India. And she's showing about India, and I was telling her about China, how we lived there. We're talking about where should we go on vacation with our kids. I was telling her about Disney, and she's like, yeah, we need to go back. So it was really, really good. I think she, maybe appreciated just sitting and having lunch with someone, and maybe not, having to be a doctor for an hour, just being regular. And her office was really sweet. So that was my day. So then after that, I was like, ooh, I'm tired. I was full, had a full belly. The falafel was really good. All the chicken, all the pita bread. It was so good. And the drink I ordered for us, I got mango iced teas. And those were delish. So it was nice. I got a free lunch, right? Lunch on the company. So that was pretty nice. But I learned some things from it, and it was good. But then after that, I was kind of tired, and I was like, oh boy, I got to keep going. So I had to go to a senior center today and talk to them. So I went in and asked to talk to the program director, events person, because sometimes we can for senior centers, we'll call bingo and be part of their senior center in that way, or, give gift cards or do sponsorships of things. But I'd like to call bingo. Can you imagine? One of the girls I work with said that she called bingo once for a senior group, and they were yelling at her, telling her, come on, you're going too slow. They were totally giving her a hard time. She's like, the older people are so fun. They don't give a crap, right? They're just going to tell you what's on their mind. But while I was there at the senior center, I noticed they had a little calendar of events for a little calendar for what they have going on in the month of February. So I was like, ooh. And so I was looking through that, and I saw they had an arts and crafts class. Now, this is something I had been thinking about a long time ago, and I think I mentioned it to you guys about, going into a senior center and maybe, donating my time or, somehow getting diamond painting right in front of, some senior centers. And I think they would love it. So as, the lady comes back and tells me that the program director is not available right now for me to talk to. And I'm like, she's sitting back there going, I don't want to talk to that lady, which is fine. So I got her card. I said, I do have a question for you. I'm like, pretend like I don't work for this podiatrist. So I'm here personal reasons. I said, have you ever heard of diamond painting? She looked at me, and she was an older lady, and she's like, no. I said, okay, this is what it is. And so I tried to explain it to her, and she's just kind of looking at me like, I wanted to show her a picture, but I was like, she's not asking. So I tried to explain it to her, and she kind of doesn't follow me. And I was like, is that something that you think, y'all would want to do here, and maybe the folks here would want to do, and I could maybe set up a class or something, or I don't know. And she's like, just so you know, whatever this craft is, she goes, most of the people here, and she kind of looked around and whispered, are 50 and over. They're over 50. Is that something they could handle? Because it needs to be pretty easy. So I looked at her and I'm like, yes, it's very easy. I was like, I know a lot of people over 50 that do it. And she was like, okay, great. She's like, well, the lady whose card I just gave you is the right person to talk to for that too. I was like, awesome. So I don't know. I just thought since I was there, I might as well ask, because they had all kinds of, they have, I noticed on there they had a knitting class, a crochet class, but they didn't have diamond painting. That could be fun, right? Teach a diamond painting class? Maybe on the weekends or something. So yeah, might be something that I might do. I just needed, the right time to walk in there and actually ask to talk to someone. So yeah, so it was a good day. And then I've been having to pick up Lou from school because it's been cold and rainy. How is the weather where you guys are? How is it? I shouldn't be complaining. I was last week and the week because it was really cold, but now today it got up to 50s. So I shouldn't be complaining. But we haven't seen the sun in 4 or 5 days. So it's getting kind of gloomy. You just kind of feel, kind of yucky. But being on the road and driving all day long, Monday and Tuesday really sucked. It was nonstop rain. And then it would stop for a little bit in the afternoon, but the morning was just pouring and it was colder. So I'll take today. I know there was no sun, but it was overcast and we're getting fog advisories. For those of you that might not know that are new, I'm in Texas. So yep, I'm in Dallas. And yeah, we just haven't had the best of weather, but I know everyone's kind of getting hit with it. We had super cold for a while, but now it's warming up again. But I need some sun in my life. I do. I need some sunny days. All wow, he's still going, y'all. He's still snoring away. Well, what else? Do I have any more notes? Let me see. Oh, yes, I do. Let's talk about this for a second. I don't know where this accent came from. It's not very good. Okay, so let me tell y'all a story. If you were on my live this past Sunday, you might have caught this, but it was at the very, very end, so I don't know if you did. I wasn't even going to bring it up again, but it's just so good. It's so good. It's just golden, y'all. All right, so on my live, it was per usual, great live, PG. You never know. Sometimes the lives can be PG-13, a little R-ish, a tiny bit R-ish, like a sprinkle of R, but like very, very like PG-13 maybe sometimes. But and I'm all good with that. Totally fine with that. But and I normally just let y'all take the live in the direction you want to go. It's for us. So yeah. So everything was all good. Everybody was being on so good. And at the end of the live, Berta, who we love, decides to donate and want to give away a painting. So I was like, awesome. So I did the whole let me write down a number and y'all put your number in the chat, all that rigmarole. Oh my gosh. If y'all were there and you picked up on it, you might remember where I'm going. You might know where I'm going with this. If y'all didn't watch it, you might have to go watch the replay. But I got to tell you what happened off camera afterwards. So I don't know what got into me, y'all. It was going so good. So good. And then, so it was time to write down the number. And I was like, I'm going to write down 69. Why not, y'all, right? We're all adults here. Why not? It's going to be funny. I'm going to spice it up a little bit. Well, right after I did that, I see someone in the chat. And I'm like, oh, no. It's my oldest. My oldest. Ryan was in the chat, my 18-year-old. And he was like, Mom. The reason why he was in the chat, which is fine, right? My kids are allowed to be in there. But he was hungry. He just got home from work. And he wanted to know what was for dinner. And he didn't want to come up here and interrupt me and bug me. So sometimes that's how, they'll message me, but I didn't see my phone. So he just thought I would just hop on the live and just ask her, something about dinner, I think is what he was asking me. So he saw the 69. Oh my gosh. I mean, Mom of the Year award, right? Mom of the freaking year. I was like, oh my gosh. Thank God, Ryan and I have, I'd say with all my kids, we have a very, very open relationship, but still. So after the live, I get off and I kind of made a few comments. I think I don't even remember exactly what happened because I was in shock that this was happening. I was like, this did not just happen. I think I made some odd comment about Mommy was bad or something. I don't even know. I was just really awkward. I don't even know why the video is still up, but it is because it's pretty funny. It was just the very end. So I get off my live and I leave. I walk out of my craft room and he's in the hall petting one of the dogs that came out of my craft room too. And I'm like, I am so sorry. He's like, no, it's fine. He goes, you're fine. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so we both kind of didn't know what to say for a minute. And then I was like, so dinner, I was going to order some pizza. Sound good? So I totally tried to change the subject. He's like, yeah. I'm like, he goes, oh, by the way, one of my friends was in there too. I was like, what? He goes, oh, and I just had come in there like right before you wrote that number down. Like right before. I was like, no. I said, I'm normally really good and it's not like that. He's like, it's okay. I was like trying to like explain myself. Oh my gosh, y'all. What a bad mom. Bad parenting, y'all. So he tells me that one of his friends was in there. And I was like, what? He goes, you remember the name so-and-so? And I'm like, he goes, yeah, you even commented on it that you liked the name because I didn't recognize it. I'm like, oh, this must be someone new. He goes, yeah, that was my friend. I'm like, nice. So not only did my son see me do that, his friend saw me do that. It's like, oh my gosh, y'all. I could have died. I could have crawled into a corner and died. But again, pretty open for the most part, right? So I was like, so then I go downstairs and I hop on the phone and I order the pizza. And as soon as I hang up from ordering the pizza, my phone's ringing and it's Alyssa. And she's one of my friends, the dime painting accountant. She's one of my mods. she called me and she's like, I think the first thing she said was, and she was laughing, kind of listening. She goes, you know, I love you, right? And I was like, and I thought maybe something had happened during the live that I didn't see, or that I missed something, or that I said something I shouldn't have said other than what I had already said, right? And she starts cracking up. She's like, I can't believe what happened. You know, she's putting herself, because she's young, right? She's like 20 something. So she's putting herself in Ryan's shoes, probably going, oh my God, if my mom did that, and when I saw that. So she was like dying. She was like dead. And so we talked about it. We laughed. I'm like, I know. I was like, oh my gosh. So after I picked up so I let her go. I picked up the pizza, and then I saw Ryan again that night, and I was like, you know, bud, I said earlier about the live. I said, you know, Alyssa called me, you know, afterwards and was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. And I was telling her, you know, you and I have, you know, a pretty open relationship. And he goes, and I was kind of telling him that. He looked at me, he goes, Mom, I tell you everything. He goes, you're the only, you are my person. So, you know, I just melted. He's like, I tell you everything, and there's, you know, we know each other, you know, we already talk to each other about everything. I tell you everything. And you're like, you're my mom. And I was like, aw. So we had like a moment, an awkward, embarrassing moment turned into a loving moment. So he is acting like it's okay. I hope it's okay. I haven't really thought about it much since then, but I'm like, ooh, that's not good. But yeah, that happened. Yeah. So if you want to see that, you can go back and watch the live. But if you were there, maybe you saw it. I don't know what happened, like I said, right at the end. So maybe no one really noticed it. But I was like, oh, I got to tell everybody. I got to mention it, because it was really sweet, the moment we had after. It was a touching mother and son moment. So yeah, I guess it wasn't all bad, right? But I'm glad that, and Alyssa said the same thing. She was, that's really cool that y'all are like that. And, you know, we've been through a lot. And yeah, I always want my kids to, you know, feel comfortable around me, and I want us to be open, and, you know, maybe not that open, or at least not me being that open about things. But yeah, I mean, it could have been a lot worse, I guess, but it was pretty good. Pretty good. Wow, Ollie is sawing some logs, y'all. Sawing the logs. So what else has been going on? So I've been, okay, so do y'all know the series, I think it's on Netflix, You, with Joe and all that stuff. If you know, you know. I loved that show. There's 4 seasons, I think. And come to find out, there's like a 5th season coming out. I didn't know that. How all this came about was last night we were in the kitchen, and Nate comes out and he's like, Mom, have you ever seen the show You? Him and Ryan just discovered You. I was like, yeah, I was obsessed with it. You've seen it all? I'm like, yeah, I watched it as soon as it came out. It's kind of old. They're like, it's not that old. They're like, oh, we're watching it. We love it. So now they'll come out and they're like, I'm on season so-and-so. I'm on episode so-and-so. So they are loving the show. I'm trying to remember, like, because they'll want to talk to me about it. And I'm like, trying to remember, because my memory's not that great. I'm like, I think I remember that part, but I also don't want to, like, give away any spoilers. So they're enjoying You, which has been fun. I almost want to rewatch it. But I didn't know until they told me that another one's coming out. So if y'all haven't seen it, it's pretty good. I got some drills that are sticking together. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me show you. Can you see that? I don't know if you can tell, but there's like 2. Must be some static, because they're not. I need to get like my grinder and or a pill bottle and shake them out. I don't know if y'all have ever done that, but yeah, there's a lot that are not laying down flat. They're like butted up together on the flat side. I have had some static with this kit. This kit has no ABs. So, and that's the way it was charted. And I thought about adding my own, because I have a little stash, but I never got around to it. Now I'm like, I'm already in the second row. I might as well just do it as is. But yeah, there's no little extra blingy on this one. Nope, no blingy. So what have I been watching? I've kind of been on a kick lately of watching comedians, because sometimes I just want to laugh. I like Dave Chappelle. He's funny. He came out with a fairly newish, like, one. So I watched him recently. And then after I watched that, I got a recommendation. I don't know how I felt about it, but I watched it anyways, for Pete Davidson. And I was like, you know, he was on Saturday Night Live, and, you know, he dated, you know, Kim Kardashian and all that. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to like his humor. I watched it and I felt very uncomfortable with some of it, but I kept watching it. I was like, what's wrong with me? But I think that's why he does it, like for shock appeal, you know, or what do you want to call it? But yeah, so I was like, so I kind of went on a comedian thing, but now I'm kind of back to true crime a little bit. I'm listening to that in the car. Oh, did y'all, I think I mentioned it last time. I think it was here, my Whip and Chat, or maybe my Patreons. I think it's my Whip and Chat. But that couple, and again, I don't want to get anything away, but I listened to Annie Elise. She does true crime, and she did a little deep dive on the couple in Vallejo, California, and the girlfriend got kidnapped, and the police didn't believe her and all that. They thought it was a hoax because it was about a year before Gone Girl, that movie with Ben Affleck, had just come out, and then they thought it was like similar situation and it was a hoax. So I listened to Annie Elise do that, and she said a documentary, a Netflix documentary was going to be coming out, and so I watched that over a couple nights, and that's interesting. That was pretty good. So I do like documentaries. I'm all about that. I haven't been listening to any books, just true crime in the car, and then lots of Whip and Chats. Y'all, if you're a creator, keep coming out with those Whip and Chats. I'm loving them. Keep them coming. They keep me company during the day, y'all. They really do. I love Whip and Chats. So I'm trying to do my part by giving y'all mine. And I'm trying to think, I kind of need something to watch. I'm trying to think if there was something. I kind of want to rewatch You, but I kind of like the documentary stuff. I like the real stuff. Oh, I know what it is. Today, Annie Elise, I was listening to her, I think it was a podcast. And I hate to even talk about this guy because he's just like total trash. But Chris Watts, if you remember that guy. And it wasn't a case about him. It was about the mistress. And about like how they never really looked into her because he I guess pleaded guilty or whatever. They caught him, right? And so they kind of just didn't finish investigating her and like what her involvement was. And they're thinking she's involved more than what we all thought. Because originally it was like, oh, she didn't really have much to do with anything. So it's been interesting. So I listened to that one today. I don't think I finished it. No, sometimes because I'm getting in and out of the car so many different times a day, it's kind of choppy. So I'll listen to something. It really depends because I have like, sometimes doctor's offices will be like boom, 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 like right next to each other. Or sometimes I've got like 20-minute drive between them. So it really depends, how much time between. But I don't think I'm done listening to that yet. I have to be careful with the true crime stuff, It's a little dark, but it sure is fun. I like that, the Netflix one off of, I think it's called American something, but that one actually, no one dies. So I don't know why it was on her true crime, because I thought it has to be like actual, but it's still a crime, right? There's still a crime was committed. I guess that's why. I guess I was associated like deaths with it, but anyways, I'm just talking out loud, y'all, or thinking out loud. Is that the way it goes? Yes. So this weekend, let's talk about this weekend. So hubby's not here again. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do what I got to do. And I'm going to go live again because no one will be here. I go live anyways, even when he's here. But, it's just nice. I won't have to worry about, leaving him downstairs and ignoring anybody. But I'm going to have a guest. Yes, I need to follow up with her and make sure she's got all the details and give her the link and get a picture of her so I can make the thumbnail. But I've got Debbie, the Diamond Painting Cajun. She is really, really close to 1,000. She goes live on Sundays as well after me. And I happened to pop into her live this past Sunday. And after I picked up the pizza, I hopped into hers. And she was so nice. She just happened to be talking about me and about, I don't remember what they were saying. But she's like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about you. And she was asking her mods to like put my channel name up. She's so supportive and very, very sweet. And like I said, awfully, I love that. I love when folks are, supportive of each other in this community because there is enough to go around. There's no need for, all this. I don't do it. So I don't even know what it's called, but not, sharing each other's and not like showing love for each other and supporting each other and giving the love for everybody. So during her live, I just threw it out there. I was like, hey, do you want to, because I saw how close she was to 1,000. I'm like, maybe there's some folks that haven't met her yet that I have that maybe, could meet her and subscribe to her channel. And so, because 1,000's a big thing, for your channel. It is. It's fun to get to that milestone. So she's going to be on my live. So y'all definitely go subscribe to her now. Go check her out beforehand so that we would kind of, but I don't know her that well. I think she lives in Louisiana. I know she's dime painting Cajun. She's got a cool accent. Love her accent. So yeah, definitely join us and we'll be going live. I don't know. We don't really have anything. Well, maybe we'll have something fun planned or maybe we'll just, hang out like we do, but y'all will get to know her better and we'll have some fun. So definitely come join us at 4:00 Central Standard Time. Did they change it from CST to was it Central Daylight Time or is it CD? I think they changed it, but I still say it the old way, I think. Y'all, I don't know what it is. Y'all are just doing it for me. I am zooming. I'm in the groove right now. I'm in a zone. I'm talking. I'm not even thinking about what I'm saying. I'm just dime painting. Y'all ever have that happen? You just boom, 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 and it's just clicking into place. And you're kind of going fast. I'm just I just got into this tunnel. And I'm almost finished with this square. I'm loving this. What else? What else do we need to catch up on, you guys? Oh, Lou. I forgot to tell you all about Lou. So Lou, I told y'all last week she was sick. She missed all week of school last week. All week she was out. Got a doctor's note every day. I kept having to extend it. But she's back. She's back at school this week. And that's why I've been picking her up because I don't want her walking in the cold and the rain and all that. So I just haven't been taking a lunch for work and just leaving early and picking her up. But yeah, she's better and I'm so glad. She still has a cough. The cough just lingers. Y'all know when you've been sick, it's that cough just hangs on. But sore throat's gone but now she's complaining about her ear hurting because I think from all that drainage. I don't think it's an ear infection. She just says it's clogged. It's kind of muffled sounding. So the other morning I got on my phone whenever she told me her ear was clogged. Got on my phone and I started looking up, remedies for, unclogging an ear. And I read all kinds of crazy, goofy stuff. Put your index finger in your ear and put it up and down, shake it up and down. So I had her do that. That didn't work. And then another one was, which I don't do this because I don't like it. My husband always tells her to do this whenever we fly and her ears get clogged on the airplane. He's always hold your nose and blow. And I'm no, she's going to pop her eardrums. Don't tell her to do that. I'm not a fan of that. It also said to do that. And she looked at me, I looked at her and she's no. I'm no, we're not doing that. Then it said you could put a hot washcloth over your ear and maybe help loosen it up. Didn't do that. She didn't want to do that. Then it said, take a decongestant. We didn't have a decongestant. All we had was expectorants. So I did go get a decongestant. She still hasn't taken it. Or it said take a shower, hot shower, and get the steam in there. She had just washed her hair the night before and straightened it. She's I'm not doing that. So I was girl, what are we going to do here? It's well, if you'll do something if it gets bad enough. So I don't know. I need to ask her. She hasn't complained about it today. So I need to ask her how her ear's doing. I don't want it to turn into an ear infection. I don't want her, to be in pain. But she makes it sound like it's not hurting her. It's just annoying. So she is super excited about this week because on Friday night they are doing I missed a color. They're doing a glow party at school. They have they hand out glow sticks. They have it's in the gym and they've got music playing. They have a DJ and they've got strobe lights and all the kids have this neon. It's pretty crazy. We did it last year. It was a fundraiser. Last year was the first year they did it. And I basically stood around the whole time by myself while she ran around with her friends. So she told me this year, you can just drop me off. I'm done. So I had to buy a ticket for her in advance. They have a meal ticket. They're going to have grilled cheeses. I guess your meal ticket includes grilled cheese, half a grilled cheese, chips, and a drink. It's 6 to 8. So it's 2 hours on Friday night. So yeah, she's excited about her glow party. And they want you to wear neon. So she's been kind of chatting up with all of her friends and, kind of doing that. And then Ryan's kind of looking for a new job. He's not loving his job. He's not loving it. He said there's a guy there that's kind of on a power trip. One of those. You know. He's a little bit older than Ryan. He's always telling me what to do. I was correcting him. Just kind of meh. So I was yeah. Hi. Oh, Lou just walked in. All right. So I think I'm gonna have to go make dinner. What time is it? It's 7:04. 7:04. Didn't we start at like 6:04? I think, I don't know. We might have gone an hour. I had to do this in 2 clips. Do you want to say a little hello? Just don't move this table. You love this pen? Isn't it pretty? I know. Randy gave this pen to me. I love it. All right, so I'm gonna leave y'all here. Oh, yep, we got extra friends here and extra hands. And yes, so what do we want them to do? Thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Subscribe, please, please, please. And then also ring that, is there a bell?
Bell.
Ring that bell, ring that notification bell, and then you'll be notified whenever I post up any new videos. Okay, y'all hang in there. Hopefully you had a good time and got some stuff done or got to where you needed to be, or just hung out and chilled out, right? That's what we're here for. I enjoyed it. I got some dime painting done, so this is awesome. All right, I love you guys so much. She's grabbing random stuff in my craft room. We've got Ursula swimming in. Yes. Oh no, Ursula, what big eyes you have. Okay, I love you guys so much. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. And again, let me know down in the comments how you are. Let me know what you've been up to and what you did during this time. I'd love to read your comments. So let me know how you are. Okay, y'all take care. I love you so much, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye guys.
Bye. Jazz hands.
Jazz hands? Bye.